Hey guys, it's Alex, and today I'd like to kind of give you a quick video because I'm going to be more video heavy on the channel regarding the stages or the phases that GT500 is going to go through in order to make it more street friendly. And one of the first things I noticed right away with this car, that in order to make it street friendly, I have to make it quieter. Absolutely have to make it quieter. So for those of you that are real familiar with Section 8, when I was at Texas 2K 2021, aka the Oil Down Nationals, where they basically made you feel like, actually 2 years ago, because I didn't go to this Texas 2K, so yeah, 2021. Basically the Oil Down Nationals, awful experience there, so I'm never going back to that fucking race. Fuck that place. So I noticed right away that the car is just insanely loud, even for like a race car. Like a lot of the cars that are turbos nowadays are on the semi-quiet side. And being that it has a big 4.5 liter Whipple, really worked over, 5.8, I thought this thing, for it to be street friendly, it has to be something that is pretty tame on the street. Now at Texas 2K, I ended up destroying or damaging the header. Now the headers on these cars have EGR bungs, and the EGR bungs sometimes just get capped. But the problem with the EGR little tube on the passenger side primary on the header, they can eventually come loose, and that's exactly what happened on that header. I'll try to sprinkle some video in if I can to show you where the damage occurred and what the fix was at Texas 2K. So one of the first things I wanted to do with the GT500 was upgrade the exhaust. The exhaust needs a lot of work. It needs new headers, in my opinion, or take the old ones out, repair them and put them back in. And I said, nah, fuck that, let's just get new headers. So here in the garage, I have laid out basically the first phase of making the GT500 a more street friendly combo. So right here, what you see is basically what the GT500 is gonna end up getting in it, so that it could be a lot more street friendly. Right now, what the GT500 has is a set of 1 7/8 ARHs to an H pipe, just like this. It has like basically cut over the axle pipes and then dumped with like a bullet muffler, like right around here on the GT500, and that's why it's so loud. So one of the first thing I did was shop around for some headers, and Rami from 2 Auto Solutions was nice enough to get me these. These are 2-inch, yes, 2-inch primary headers for the GT500. Now, a lot of you guys have heard me recently rag on Coyote owners that think they need 2-inch headers for their Coyote. Guys, you don't need 2-inch headers ever on a Coyote unless that sucker's making north of 13 or 1400 rear wheel horsepower. These are 2-inch primary headers. The current ones are 1 7/8, and the only reason I went 2-inch with these guys is because, why not? Because it has a big honking 4.5 liter Whipple pushing 30 pounds of boost through it, and I thought, let's just go ahead and upgrade the headers to the 2-inch primary headers. A very good header. Now, truth be told, I wish Ultimate Header made headers for S197 and GT500 applications, but they don't. They simply don't. So the only ones that are available are these ARHs in 2-inch primary size. Now their H pipe, this couples down to a H pipe that is 3-inch, I believe, or 2 3/4. It's either 3-inch or 2 3/4. The reason I say that is because I couldn't find any over the axle pipes that would basically fit this setup. According to everything I heard, this mates up to a factory over the axle pipe setup. So then I thought, well, let me go get some over the axle pipes. So these over the axle pipes are Long Tube Header brand. The fitment is right, and then we should be good to go. Now, one thing I really like about these LTH over the axle pipes, if you've ever installed over the axle pipes on S197 Mustangs, you know they're one piece. It's a one-piece OTA over the axle pipe. The biggest issue with that is you have to finagle it off. You have to kind of drop the rear end, let it sag, and potentially unhook the shock and drop it down enough so that you have enough lead room to be able to slip the over the axle pipes over the axle connected to the H pipe, and then you can orient it in such a way that it can basically be ready for the axle back. But the nice thing is long tube headers did a really nice thing where they basically made it so that this guy goes on separately, so you can comfortably install the over the axle pipe onto the H pipe, and then afterwards go ahead and get this guy. Now luckily these are both LTH pieces, and both of them go together just like that, and they clamp together. And one thing I probably am going to think about doing is making a better connection. If you guys have ever owned S197s, the clamp that goes here is a tremendous pain in the butt sometimes, because basically it's like a mating surface, and then the clamp goes in between both, and what holds the over the axle pipe extension to the axle back itself is just the clamp connection and the hangers that are here. So the plan is this. The plan is more than likely to get stock GT500 quad tip mufflers for now, just so that I can go ahead and get an exhaust on the car. And then I can change the axle back whenever I want. But it's a lot easier to come across bone stock over the axle pipes. But the problem is this. They're asking crazy money for the axle backs now. The axle backs are like $1,500 for MagnaFlow, adult series exhausts. Corsa and all the other brands, Borla, $1,100-1,200 for 2 mufflers with quad tips. I'm gonna hold off on that. I like this car, but look, stock exhaust will sound good. It'll make it, livable on the quieter side, and I think that's all I need for now until I figure out what's gonna live on there forever. I'm not a Corsa fan. I just not a fan of how they sound. Even cam, I liked it to be tame as possible, given the motor's pretty rowdy. So some MagnaFlow Street Series would be perfect. I do not want anything called race, explode, blow my ass, nothing. I want just the most basic. The reason I have the door off, some guy with a diesel was out there. What is with diesel guys and keeping their trucks idling for no fucking reason? Don't talk to me about turbo timers. Fuck all that bullshit. So the nice thing about the ARH system, and this might be called the long system if I'm not mistaken. This is supposedly designed to go into the factory stuff, but obviously LTH over the axle pipes are not factory, so I'm gonna have to do something a little custom there. No big deal. Comes with extension harnesses, which, depending on who you ask, sometimes they're good, sometimes they're not. So you kind of have to make sure that the signal's good. Luckily, the car currently has long tubes, so I do not have to reuse these I don't have to use these particular extension harnesses. Comes with all the hardware, as you can see there, for the headers. Comes with all the clamps. So this will be the first stage into making the car more streetable. So if you know anything about the cost nowadays of headers, these were not cheap, and I want to thank Rami Zaidan at 2 Auto Solutions for hooking me up with these. He was awesome. He got them to me ASAP. It took a while to make and get them here because they didn't have them in stock, so they actually had to make them from scratch so they can get here. So yeah, this is going to be the first stage. I still need some axle backs, so if anyone out there has axle backs that aren't $1,500 and they're MagnaFlow Street Series for S197 Mustang quad tip, that'd be great. If not, I'll rock some stockers for now. For a while. So yeah, just wanted to show you what the plans are for the GT500. We're gonna go ahead and upgrade the exhaust system to make sure it's a more street friendly setup. So just keeping you updated, keeping the videos coming, just like you guys asked. Thanks for listening. Talk to you later.